gather here. Maketaz starts now.
Yeah. What's up, people? What's up, Africa? What up, Nigeria? What's up, world? You know, if your first word when you're coding is hello world, but today on Maketaz, our first word is welcome to Maketaz. Yes.
Yeah.
My name is Olamide and you know, as usual, I'm not alone. I'm with this beautiful voice. Okay.
Yes. I'm in the studio today. My name is Ebun. Welcome to Maketaz.
Okay, Ebun, you know, I'll always find something to compliment. Definitely find something to compliment. Today, I'm going to be complimenting your nose mask.
You know, we have to keep staying safe in Nigeria and around the world. So, friends, please do not forget to stay safe, whether you're at work, at home, on the road. But it's not about staying safe today. We're talking about something fresh, something new, something exciting today, while you're staying safe anyway. Yeah,
something that is very important, especially when we consider the fact that we, as a country, Nigeria, we are increasing by the numbers as the day goes by. So this is a very important topic that you will find very interesting. But you know what? As usual, we will not let the cat out of the bag yet, because we'll take the short break. And when we come back, we'll get straight to bringing out the very, very best of the topic we are discussing today on Maketaz. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Hello there. Did you know you can link your national identification number to your SIM? For Glow subscribers, send updates NIN with your number, first name and last name to 109. For MTN, dial *785# and follow the prompt. For Airtel, dial *121*1# and follow the prompt. For 9 Mobile, use the online self-service NIN update portal, which is www.9mobile.com.ng/NIN.
Africa Tech Radio.
Welcome back. It's still Maketaz on Africa Technology Radio, Africa Tech Radio ATR. This is coming courtesy Techuncode, and you can follow our social media pages on YouTube. Also, you can subscribe to our channel simply by following us on Techuncode. It's very simple. Subscribe to our channel, Techuncode, to get the best of Maketaz. Okay, like I said, we're going to be letting the cat out of the bag, and today we're going to be looking at container houses as a viable option. Ebun, let's let you do the intro. Tell us about container houses. I think we need to know about container houses. It's very important.
So container housing is not new in Nigeria. I don't want to assume that people do not know about container housing. Container housing is now the new thing when it comes to affordable housing, housing that is convenient, fast to get, no hassles, no hustles to get container housing. So I'll just run you down through a quick information about container housing. Nigeria's population is growing. By 2038, it's projected that we'll have about 263 million persons in Nigeria. So that volume or that number of persons need accommodation, good housing. And by that, we're running at a deficit if we do not upscale the housing sector in Nigeria. So as of 2019, Nigeria already had a deficit pegged at 17 million. So imagine if we now get to 2033 and we have to accommodate and we have to provide housing rather for 263 million persons.
At this rate. It's really impressive. Like, I don't know.
Yes.
The reason why I'm saying it's impressive is that, you know, the population keeps growing geometrically, and then we see that the housing keeps increasing arithmetically. So you're having a population that grows in twos as the day goes by, and then you're having houses built in ones. So now, how do you cater for the number of the persons that are built? Now, that's one of the. I saw one interview on social media, and somebody said, when you see somebody who's walking with his bag in the streets, look well, this person is homeless. Did you see that interview? I don't know if you saw it.
You know. Okay, so some people's car is even their house.
Exactly.
So we have moving houses all around Lagos. This is just using Lagos as an example of all the other states that we have around the country. So the figures of the stats are there that in Nigeria, we have over 100,000 houses built yearly or annually. Now, imagine if we still have that number, if we have that number of over 100,000 houses built yearly, and people still cannot afford accommodation, good accommodation, not just what 5 people to a room kind of accommodation, but good accommodation. Yeah. It's a source of concern,
especially especially when you consider the minimum wage and you look at the fact that, okay, well, we're saying we're earning a minimum wage of 25,000 naira, and we know that it's not all states that have agreed to pay the 25,000 naira yet. It used to be 18,000 naira. So now when you consider that 25,000 naira is the minimum wage for a family of 5, you still have to pay for rent, you have to pay for feeding, you have to pay for transportation and every other expenses that comes along the way. So how would you cater for your housing need at this particular rate we're seeing? And that explains the housing deficit, why you have a lot of people homeless, or you have people squatting with people, or people basically living in slums and inhabitable areas where you can't even imagine yourself staying. But it's because of the situation of things. People basically have to survive. So it's the survival instinct of humans that make them live in places where you know that this is not safe for inhabitation. Okay, good.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, so I'm going to come with good news. The container housing is affordable, it's cheap, it's low cost. It gives you don't have to maintain. It's not it doesn't come with high maintenance costs. It's low maintenance. It's predictable. The pricing is predictable.
Yeah.
It's your emergency shelter for people or persons as you move from city to city. So I think it's a viable option that people should begin to consider when it comes to housing, or the housing sector should be looking at. Now, if as at today, or as at now, 2021, we have over 500,000 containers moved into the country yearly. Over. So if we have that volume, where do they go to after they offload the materials, whether they are laden or they are empty? That's the volume of container that moves into the country yearly. So after these containers are used, what happens to them? So we need to begin to look at recycling these materials. And that's the reason, or that's the essence of container housing, to be able to use up some of the things that we have used before to have a friendly ecosystem.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. Especially when you consider the fact that you have architects exploring container houses as an option this time around. I mean, I was surfing the internet recently and I was going through the different designs for container houses. Amazing designs that you wouldn't even know that this house is made of container.
I'm telling you.
So when you look at the interior and you look at the outward look of the house, you would be like, no, this can't be a container house. It's impossible. I mean, okay, for instance, I'll tell you now, let's look at how viable it is as an alternative. Now, if the government says we want to invest in this, we know that the Nigerian Port Authority, as an authority, they have access to the exact figures in terms of containers that come into the country and docks on the shipyard and everything. So if we say we're investing in container houses as an option to expensive houses, the luxurious houses that people cannot afford, it becomes a problem. That means we're solving that problem of high cost of housing in Nigeria. People can be able to afford the container houses when you build it to a particular standard, don't you think?
So it's not just about people affording it. It's about luxury at almost no cost. So I saw a service apartment, about 2-story building, built from container housing. So the government needs to look at this sector of the economy and see how they can use up all the material, the resources we have, how we can free the ports and clear the ports. We keep complaining about Apapa, we keep complaining about ports being full, looking for other locations or other deep sea ports. How about clearing up containers that are not being used?
And recycling them.
Yes, I saw it on the news recently about the Nigerian Port Authority complaining about the ports being full. We need decongestion of the ports and all of that. So if we begin to look at container housing as an option and moving some of these containers that are empty and selling them off or using them for housing, then we'll be making a good move towards achieving affordable housing.
Yeah.
Yes, for all persons in Nigeria, and I think it's one of the SDG goals.
Yeah,
yes.
I agree with you. It's definitely one of the SDG goals. Affordable housing. When you look at affordable housing, the question you would ask yourself is, how many people can afford a house in Nigeria? Okay, for instance, we'll look at the price of cement. It's always been on the ascendancy. It's always been increasing. There is no stability in the price of cement. Now, when you want to get those building things,
should I tell you how much it costs now? It's over 3,000. It's over 3,000 naira for a bag of cement.
Do you know how many bags of cement you require? And do you know how many bricks you need? The sand you require to build those things, the stone, all those materials they use in building. But once you get that container, it saves you lots of cost when you're looking at it. I mean, don't you agree with me?
So I quite agree with you 100%. So the cost of a container, maybe a 10 feet, so container comes in sizes.
Yeah,
you have
of course.
10 feet, you have the 20 feet, you have the 40 feet container. And so the price of one container, maybe a 10 feet reusable, or that just add the items in it offloaded, could maybe cost about 600,000 or maybe 900,000 maybe for a 40 feet container. And some are even cheaper, depending on where you're buying from.
And the manner.
Yeah,
so you have some containers in auction. Yeah.
Yes, the state of the container. So if you get one of that, you could easily refurbish. Imagine spending less than 1.5 million in building.
To build a house.
Yes. The only cost you need to consider or worry about is the space you want to place
the land,
or the land. And with less than 3 million naira, your house or your home is sorted.
Yeah.
So it's easy, it's cheap, it's convenient. These are some of the things we need to begin to look into. Offices are beginning to adopt it.
Yeah.
Businesses.
MSMEs, shops.
MSMEs, they are the MSMEs rather. They are the ones who have adopted this. So the generality of Nigerians need to begin to look at container housing as a viable option to the housing deficit in the country.
I agree with you. Especially, it's not just like it's where you can live. I mean, you can live in the container house with luxury. And that's one thing, again, we should look out for. Luxury. If you want to build your house, you can build a container housing to your particular taste.
I even saw one with a penthouse.
I'm telling you, like, you would be shocked at the things that have been done with container houses. Like, I don't know, people have not really seen. I don't think they've really explored container houses in Nigeria.
Not yet.
So how do we get that word out? I know what we're doing is actually a way of propagating the fact that, okay, this is it's a very viable alternative to housing as we used to know it. I know, but I think people need to really do more research to really understand the potentials of container houses. That's what I think, if you ask me. People need to research more and, or have a better understanding of container houses. That's what I think.
I think it's a place of knowledge. So people do not really know. I think the generality of persons know that they could use it for shops and maybe offices, but seeing it as home outside the country, most people have already seen it as a viable option for housing. But in Nigeria, we're just getting into that space, and there are companies all around that are already building container housing for people. There are container houses all around. I think I was researching and I saw one that cost 2.8 million.
Yeah,
the full house,
wow,
furnished, toilet, bedroom, everything ready and settled. Just buy, they deploy to the location you want them to deploy to, and you start living. Easy life, comfortable life, and you can have 2-3 persons live in one.
Imagine having an estate where you have container houses.
Beautiful.
Imagine now.
But as sweet as it is, but there are cons to it also. But I don't think the cons outweigh the pros, the benefits of it.
Like in terms of durability?
Yes, in terms of durability. Because we must also let our listeners also know about that.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's something they can also research. They can also research about.
But there's a way they make it. Most times you have to put it into the earth, like the way it's done. So it gives it that form of rigidity. It makes it very tough. Okay, but we have done this, we have done our part. So I think it's very important that if you've been listening to this conversation, that you go and make your research to find out exactly how container housing can be a viable alternative to housing as we used to know it. Ebun, any final words before we go?
So, final words, do not just listen, please research, try and find out more information about topics that we treat on Maketaz. It's basic so that you do not just take our word for it only, but you also grow with knowledge.
Okay, on Maketaz, knowledge is life, and that is what we do. We equip you, we give you the bomb, we make you understand that you have to be able to make some wise decisions when you're going to the market, because that's exactly what Maketaz is about. Okay, my name is Olamide Onka, and we've come to the end of this show. Remember to follow our pages, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and on Facebook as well, it's at Techuncode. And also keep listening to Maketaz on Africa Technology Radio, ATR. Until next time, have a safe one.
Bye-bye.
Maketaz.